can't show you any more than this or you'll know where I'm at. But me and Mike are hunting an old house site that I found on Maprika. And check that out right there. That is a bell off of one of the old crank telephones. That is a great find. This bell that I found came off of an old hand crank telephone. And let's face it, one of the greatest inventions in communications has to be the telephone. Today, almost everyone has a cell phone that keeps them connected to the world. But you know, it wasn't that glamorous in the beginning. Landlines were all that were available, and the consumer had to hand crank an old phone to reach an operator. The operator had to make a connection, and bells would ring on the other end when the connection was made. But let's go way back to the beginning. Robert Hooke created the first acoustic telephone in 1672. It was very much like the two soup can toys that we made as children. Hooke found that sound could be sent over a wire or a string from a mouthpiece on one side to an earpiece on the other side. From that point, various inventors have worked on the idea of communicating electronically. In 1838, Samuel B. Morse discovered that he could transmit messages by pressing down or releasing a button in intervals to transmit a pattern of sound over telegraph wires known as Morse code. But this wasn't voice transmission. In fact, it wasn't until March the 7th, 1876, that Alexander Graham Bell's U.S. patent number 174465 for the telephone was granted and the telephone came into existence. 3 days later, the first telephone call was made between Bell and his assistant, Thomas A. Watson, who was in the next room. Bell transmitted the sentence, "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you," using a liquid transmitter and electromagnetic receiver, and the first phone call was made. But the months following the patent grant proved financially difficult for Bell and his backers. As court cases mounted, as other inventors sued Bell, some claiming that he had stolen their idea. So by the fall of 1876, Bell offered to sell his patent rights to Western Union for $100,000. In one of the greatest miscalculations in history, Western Union said no. Instead, they believed that the telegraph, not the telephone, was the future. By September of 1877, Western Union realized their grave mistake when they were forced to begin ripping out the telegraphs and started using Bell telephones. And I bet you didn't know that in 1880, Bell set up a lab to improve his invention. The result was the photophone, which was capable of sending sound on a beam of light. Bell made what was essentially history's first wireless call. Out of that hole right there, look at that big green wheat right there. 1919 is what I saw on there. First piece of money here. Trying to keep our spot secret here. And oh man, that's an old lock. Old brass lock. Is that, what does it say?
It's got a name on each side of it.
Y and T. That's a Yale. That's an old lock, old brass lock. Oh, that's sweet. Finally got another signal in this hole right here. Check it out. This one was a bit scratchy, and I'm not sure what it is. It's, I think, part of a locket or a necklace, but look at the back of it, the way it's made. It had something else that went with it. Oh, that hole right there, I got a big old clock gear. Huge. You can see it in my hand here. That didn't go on an iWatch or whatever they call them. I'll take that though. It's in rough shape, but this was a piece of an oil lamp. Part of the top and the wick would have came out in the middle of that. But man, it is eat up bad. You can see right there the residue of this where it came out. I don't know what this is. It's got a hole there, a hole there, a hole there. That's not been broke. It is, it's made that way. I have no idea. I've never seen one of those. It's got a little bit of decoration, I thought, on that side. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Interesting. I'm not sure what this is, and I don't think it's been broke. It is a little brass T, some kind of a connector to something. Would have made I would think, an electrical connection, but I don't know. Interesting find though.